Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast that's rated NC-17 because there's no chance that 17 people are listening to this thing. It's Guys of a Certain Age in studio alongside
Art Shirley
and Jay Reed.
We could have made this podcast rated MA for more art, but but no.
Yeah.
I like the NC-17. I didn't get anything from you on that when I said NC-17.
He stopped listening.
Are you not listening to me, Jay?
Did we start?
All right. Well, we have Jay back. Art.
Jay back.
Jay back. Jay got back. There you go. Sir Jay a lot. So, all right, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week before this gets any worse. I wonder if Mrs. Reed is listening to us this week after last week's,
It's funny how I'll hear people that, say, oh, yeah, I listened to so-and-so and heard that. And I'm like, okay. You do like Romper Room and start naming names.
I mean, who said that they listened? Wes Shelton listens, and there was somebody who said they'd listened. That I was a little surprised.
Dale Moore, Julie Gray. Friends of mine.
Yeah.
Friends and cousin of mine.
Yeah.
Does JT still listen?
JT, I think, listens.
What about Dave?
Dave Hood?
Yeah.
Nah.
George says he doesn't listen as often as he used to.
Well, thanks, George, for letting me down. You're no longer my favorite of Art's fans. So, what?
Mervin.
Cousin Mervin. Yeah, cousin Jerry. So, all right. Yeah, that's almost 17 people. Yeah. We're getting there. So, all right. Let's jump into Geeks of the Week instead of naming listeners of the podcast. Who wants to go first?
I'll let Jay go first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, I don't have one.
I'm prepared? No, I'm prepared.
Are we not going to do the breakdown of what we know about the trailer? Do we do that? The Doomsday trailer?
You can.
Okay. I will.
I think you should.
Am I still going first?
You are still going first.
Okay, so this is just a little fun one, primarily for people who are
because
DC
all our
fans.
geeks are death, doom, and destruction.
Well, I actually did have an obituary. I think I'm going to move past that one.
So if you're a fan of DC and also a fan of musical or opera, you might enjoy this Instagram page called Batman of the Opera.
Oh my gosh.
So the reel that popped up today, I guess because I think Phantom of the Opera may be coming back out, maybe doing a revival, and I follow Spam a lot and some others.
Spam, and more spam.
Anyway.
It's a lot of spam.
This popped up, and in the first scene that I say, or the first reel, whatever, was this Batman suspended over the stage of, it wasn't America's Got Talent, but it's some version of that. I think and he's got the cape, but he's got these huge wings behind him too. So it's kind of an overkill, but he's singing as he's suspended, and he's very good. He's one of those that, all the judges are going, wow, who's this? I think he's a Ukrainian guy. Gosh, I can't even know his name, but he does several songs on his reels dressed as Batman. Okay. They're not Batman songs. I mean, what would be a Batman song? Yeah. But the one that he does up in the sky on the talent show is Let It Go from Frozen. And he sings it. He's got a baritone voice. And I didn't even recognize the song at first. But at the end of it, I don't know, do you know the Frozen? Do you know Let It Go very well?
Let it go, let it go.
That's not baritone, but that's the
back
song.
When Edith Bunker played the role.
Archie, let it go, Archie.
So anyway, he's singing. It's just really, really good. And then he goes, "The cold never bothered me anyway."
Oh, that's awesome. Nice job too, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
as opposed to me, right?
Just a fun little Instagram page, Batman of the Opera. And I think he's Ukrainian. Did I say that?
You did.
All right. And it had his name at some point, but I'm not sure. Here it is. I clicked the wrong button. I got Batman instead of Batman of the Opera. I'm trying to get to his.
We don't want to know that browser history.
I don't know if I can say it. Yuri Yurchuk.
That sounds pretty
International
good.
operatic baritone, Batman of the Opera, lives in London. Some of the stuff on his page is not Batman related, but it's just kind of sprinkled through. He's got a Lion King, I think, outfit on at one point. Anyway, just fun. Just a little fun little page. Batman of the Opera.
Batman of the Opera.
Batman of the Opera.
Okay. I did want to mention that Sid Croft passed away a few weeks ago. Actually, this week as we record, but a few weeks ago by the time you hear it, of Sid and Marty Croft, HR Puffin Stuff, Lidsville, Segment of the Sea Monsters or whatever. His brother Marty passed away a few years ago. We mentioned him. So
Sid and Marty Croftland.
Sid and Marty Croftland. That's right. Yep. But we had talked last time about the CinemaCon trailer for Avengers Doomsday. And we don't know when the actual trailer is going to be released for the general public, right? It's going to be a while. But I've heard that they had, like Disney had infrared lights or whatever that would render your camera, so your camera that couldn't record it or something. I don't know how that works. Killjoys. But
I've got 10 reveals from the trailer if you want to talk about the trailer.
I've got it right here. So I'll go. Sue Storm screams as massive wave towers over her. Do you have that?
I do not.
What do you have?
I have that the costumes is unveiled, so we see the costume.
Okay.
In it. Apparently, Downey uses this kind of British deep accent as Dr. Doom.
Okay, interesting.
Which, holds up with the Latvian accent, which is...
Because anybody that's from another country is British.
Of course.
Right.
Or if you work for the Empire.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have Charles Xavier sees an incursion through the X-Mansion window.
Thor considers Dr. Doom the greatest threat ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've read some things where folks have paraphrased, and Thor's like, I've had friend.
Is that me? Sorry. Nothing else I popped up. Batman didn't start singing, but apparently the Avengers do.
So, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Thor does this little monologue about I've had warrior friends much stronger than any of you die at the hands of a lesser villain type of thing, and this guy's going to kick our butts. So Thor considers Doom the
Speaking
greatest
of Thor, I see that Steve Rogers has long hair and a beard and wields Mjolnir. How do you say that?
Yeah, that's good enough.
Thor's hammer.
A hammer.
Quote, source, Thor says that he's lost friends and warriors in the past fighting, here's the quote, enemies that scared me far less than this one does.
Wow.
Okay.
Dr. Doom apparently stops Thor's Stormbreaker with one hand.
Ooh, nice. Mm-hmm. The Fantastic Four meet both Avenger teams. So I guess we'll have the original
Avengers team, and then whatever is, it's not like East Coast, West Coast kind of thing.
It's the new Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what were previously known as the Thunderbolts.
The old Avengers and the new Avengers.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
So
Shang-Chi fights Gambit at the X-Mansion, and they've got a picture of Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yelena and Mystique fight as well. So, and apparently Mystique is seen wearing a comic-accurate white costume and sporting shorter red hair.
Okay. And I also have a thing on the fight that she shapeshifts into Yelena and then fights the real Yelena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've got the Shang-Chi and Gambit fight. Doom stops Stormbreaker with his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom has an accent, as you mentioned, and his face looks scarred.
Oh, I did not see that. Apparently, Steve Rogers is the Infinity War look, so with longer hair. I've got two more.
Go ahead.
Steve Rogers is still worthy. I mean, he picks up Thor's hammer, which is called?
I don't know, Mjolnir.
Yeah. Yeah.
My loner.
And
my loner hammer. Well, you could use my good hammer, but why don't you take my loner?
Well, I'll fix the other one.
Oh my!
It is for now. That is from now forward. My loner,
my loner hammer. And Cassie Lang returns after Quantumania, Scott Lang's daughter, so she's back. Art's going to hold something up. What's he holding up?
Mjolnir.
Say that again.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Are you sure?
Mule deer.
Mjolnir.
Meow, 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 meow.
I like my loner. I like my loner.
I think I like my loner quite a bit. I think that's going to enter into the guys of a certain age lexicon.
I think so too.
My loner. Yeah. So, as opposed to my Sharona. My Sharona. My loner. So, all right. Was that it?
I think that's it. I think it's our Geeks of the Week.
Well, Jay can't go. I guess it's my turn to go. So
he went.
I mean, Jay can't go because he's already gone.
Right.
Okay. I thought you were
This is what happens when we go out of order.
Is Jay here?
Where do we start?
We're all AI.
We're all AI. Well, it would have to be intelligent for it to be AI. So the directors of Project Hail Mary announced yesterday, coming out of CinemaCon, that the movie is not coming to Amazon Prime anytime soon. So you're going to have to go to the movie theater to see it. They're going to start another 1 week engagement in IMAX theaters.
Yeah, when I first read that, I thought they were releasing the director's cut, which is supposed to be 4 hours long.
Good grief. Yeah.
I saw that. I looked it up because, sometimes you can while it's still in theaters. If you pay enough to Amazon or whoever, you can watch it. And I was...
Well, maybe you just hadn't paid enough, Jay.
I'm paying plenty, believe me.
Yeah, for being here.
Yeah. So, because I was going to try to watch it last night, but negative.
Yeah.
It's not going to be released for a while.
For a while. It was great.
You'll have to go to the theater and see it.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I looked to see when I could go see it. I was hoping to go see it last night at the theater, and there's one showing at 4:00.
That's
there are other towns that have theaters.
Not that I could get to last night. Does West Point have a theater showing?
No, but
Project
Columbus
Hail Mary?
does.
I guess it does.
I mean, that's the only other.
Tupelo does.
I didn't care that much, but I will. I will go see it. sometime.
Wow.
Jay.
I got 3 hours of paradise in though.
Yeah, there you go. That's what some would say hanging out with.
That's not some kind of euphemism.
We don't want to know what
into the lexicon.
3 hours of paradise. Yeah, my loner.
Use my loaner.
Okay, off the rails. So I did see Project Hail Mary. Enjoyed it in theaters quite a bit.
Yeah. Had you finished reading it by the time?
Oh yeah. I finished reading it like 3 weeks ago, and so I actually nodded off once. I didn't feel bad about it because I knew exactly what was happening. So, but really enjoyed it. Would love to see it on IMAX.
Yeah, same here.
So, and enjoyed the changes that they made to the story.
I couldn't remember. I read it when it came out, which was much longer ago than I remembered.
Yeah.
But I know my sister and other folks had read it just right before they saw it, like you did. I mean, some of them finishing it the day before they saw it.
Yeah.
And they were all happy with the changes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I mean,
love the book.
Yeah.
But still happy with the changes.
You didn't care much for Artemis, his follow up to.
I did not. In fact, I just listened to it again.
Be careful.
Audio
you didn't read it. You listened to it.
I listened to it, which is always, I enjoy audiobooks, but I'm never quite as engaged with an audiobook as I am when I read something.
Yeah.
I listened to it again, and it's just still the character. And I know they're going to make that movie with Selena Gomez is what he's hoping is going to be the casting for that. But it just didn't quite hit.
What's the premise?
It's a moon base. Artemis is the moon base, and there is a smuggler kind of woman named Jazz who is trying to get this big score. So it's kind of almost like an Ocean's 11 kind of caper type movie and what she has to go through. And it's good, but the problem is, and I've seen other people that do this, say this, is that he doesn't write women very well.
Oh,
it's basically he's the same character as the other two, somebody problem solving. But you never, because this person is not trying to survive or trying to do something a little bit more noble, I guess, you never really care for the main character that much. That's been my problem with it. It's well written, it's done, but it just doesn't seem to be. It's certainly not as.
So
some people love it.
For All Mankind is missing a big opportunity if they don't have a cameo of Matt Damon with a bunch of potatoes.
Okay.
On Mars.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They should do it. So, all right, we're going to take a break. We're going to allow Jay to chime in on his favorite Apple products of all time. And now we turn the mics over to Jay.
All the mics?
All the mics.
Turn all the mics.
And the mechanics.
Well, y'all were talking about the
miracle.
Apple, 2 or 3 weeks ago? What?
Yeah. What?
All I need is a miracle.
Yeah.
Isn't that Mike and the Mechanics?
In the living years.
All I need is a miracle.
Who's the lead singer?
It's the guy that was.
He was in Squeeze.
He was in Squeeze and he was in Ace.
Paul Carrick.
Yes, great voice.
Had a couple, his big top 40 hit, top 10 hit in 1988, 89, Don't Shed a Tear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which had a great little hook at the beginning of it. So, all right.
So now we'll turn things back
Back over.
Apparently the mics
I don't
were
think
not.
you really turned it over.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to kind of chime in with the Mac products that I have owned over the years. Not as near as many
Mac
as y'all's.
or Apple?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Yes.
What I will ask you, like I asked Mr. Shirley, what is the Apple product that has been the most life-changing or enhancing for you?
It's got to be the iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've heard y'all. I've listened to the episode, and I
What did we
agree
say?
with. No, I remember what you said.
I don't.
Well,
being
you
serious.
both said that's the one thing you go back home for if you leave.
Yes, that's
and,
good, yeah.
as opposed to the
Not our wives or
whatever.
our kids, but our iPhones.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in Pensacola. I don't know where Becky is, but I'll call her on my iPhone.
she could just FaceTime in to see the beach.
Yeah. So that's been very. I mean, I started off with a Galaxy when my first smartphone.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to integrate everything, and so I got the iPhone. I've been.
So you had a Galaxy smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had a Nokia and a Razr phone, but my first smartphone. And I didn't think,
several Nokias before.
didn't think I needed it, didn't think I wanted it until Robbie got his. And it wasn't just like, oh, Robbie's got one, I got to get it, although there was some of that too. But
Becky
just seeing,
hates me for things like that.
she probably does.
Yeah, but I haven't like
it's Robbie
upgraded.
for me. It was Oprah for Becky. Like she didn't understand the iPod at all. Why do you want an iPod? And then Oprah gave him away. So you've got an iPod, and you've got an iPod, and so I got an iPod.
No, you got an iPad.
Yeah.
Well, that was So that's probably. I started off. I tried to find the guy. I talked to the guy.
The guy.
I messaged the guy that I actually gave my Apple to because I had
You
my.
wait.
What
you
Apple?
Gave it?
I gave it away.
What did you give away? Your
I think
84
it
Mac?
was
Your-
a 1993 LC3 or something.
Okay.
very
So that's
close to
not an
that.
Apple. That's a Mac LC.
Okay,
But it's still
the same,
Apple,
from the
though.
It
same
is, but
company,
it's-
correct?
It is
It's from
but-
the
but-
Apple company.
But you said I gave but when you said you gave your Apple II away,
We
which I
were
believe-
thinking Apple too. Like
Yeah.
No.
That would be
this
a-
was.
a
This
lot
is
of
more or
money.
less the picture. So I don't know if it was this exact model, but it looked like
listeners,
this.
he is showing a picture of an Apple LC, which was their low cost color machine.
Yeah, and I got it probably at Circuit City.
oh gosh, yeah.
Asheville,
Remember
North
you used to go
Carolina.
get that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circuit City, man.
Because I don't think I don't know if Best Buy was around at
No.
that time.
Rex's, remember Rex's?
Yeah. So Circuit City.
Cowboy Maloney's.
We used to
that's
have
still around.
electronics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. So, sorry.
So anyway, so we were getting ready to leave overseas, and the company we were working with, everybody was using a PC. So I got a Dell, and
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
it left the Mac with a friend. His mom needed a computer, so I left it with him. So I contacted him today to see if by any chance in the world it was still around. He wasn't sure, but so that was it. That was my first Mac computer.
So somebody did not treasure a gift you gave them 30 years ago.
I guess not.
Wow, I would
doubt-
not be sending them any
I
Christmas
doubt it
cards.
did any. Barely turned on now, but. And then I think the iPod was next.
Okay.
That would have been.
We're looking
first
through a
one I
photo
got-
album of Jay's Apple experience.
Fourth generation, like 2004, would have been my first one. It had a screen.
Okay.
That would show, I guess, album art on there.
No, I just showed the list of the names.
I had the second iPod. I did not have the first iPod.
I've got a first generation iPod that Phil gave me actually because he didn't.
Okay.
And why do you want this? And I'm like, I'll take it if you want it.
Yeah. So that was it was a bigger one.
Yeah, I've got that one too. That was probably the best one.
And then I've still got a Nano that I'm pretty sure was fifth generation because it had a FM radio in it.
Okay.
See, some people say that was like the pinnacle of the Nano, where you actually had a radio in it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it,
I don't even remember that one.
every now and then,
Nano.
I'm not sure exactly where it is today, but every now and then I'll be going through a box and I'll find it. And I used to take it to like start with high ball games.
So you could listen to radio. Yeah.
And listen to the radio feed as I was watching the game. And that was kind
So
of cool.
that Nano, did it clip on?
That would
No,
not,
we had that one.
I had that one. Then I had the other Nano that was basically like a USB flash drive.
Yeah, we had that. We didn't have it, but Becky got one for work or something like that. They needed something like that, and it had no. It was like you said, a USB flash drive, basically.
Yeah, with a headphone port.
And some way to scroll through. You couldn't see anything.
No, I've got it in there. We can pull it
Okay.
after we record.
Okay.
But the one that was basically a control button with a clip was fabulous.
That's
I love
that one right
The
there.
Shuffle.
That
The
was a-
shuffle. That's what I'm thinking.
Shuffle. Yeah, that was a really good one.
that was a shuffle was what we started getting when the kids finally wanted to listen to music. And there's no telling how many of these we washed in the washing machine because somebody left it in their pockets.
Yes.
So
Imagine that.
and then of course now I've got the MacBook Pro, I think. So, and that's it. I really haven't had a lot. I mean, I've got a watch. We've got an iPad that I think we purchased in probably 2011 or 12, maybe. Have never upgraded, never done anything with it. Melissa just listens to music on it in the morning. I think it may have finally quit connecting to the internet like last week. So I took it out of the OtterBox cover that was literally crumbling.
Yeah, I've got one that's deteriorated.
Yeah, and I haven't had time to really mess with it much. But when I took it out of the box, I was like, this looks really cool.
Yeah.
But it's very, very old.
I've had 2 iPad Pros, both the primary drawing tool, and then we've had 2 or 3 regular iPads, I think.
Yeah, I think
Becky's got one. She uses hers all the time.
Yeah, and the Nano was the last iPod that I bought. I didn't go to any of the iPod Touches, anything like that. By the time that was around,
The phone,
I was getting phones. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I might upgrade our iPad. I think I'd like to have something that, I mean, a laptop is pretty easy to carry around, but I'd like something that would be just a little bit smaller, do a lot of the same things, and get like a keyboard like you've got, Robbie. And I think I could.
So
I think I would use that.
Yeah.
So the Mac Neo, we talked about that, is like sold out till mid-April,
Right.
at this point, or end of April.
Mac
like
what?
The Mac Neo.
The Mac, not the Magneto.
Yeah, the Mac
Mac
Neo.
Neo, which is the laptop that's a $500 entry point that was announced, 3 weeks ago now as we record?
No, it's been more like a
Month ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's a low cost.
I don't remember what day it is. That's one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Welcome
That's
to
good. Thing,
Welcome
yeah.
to retirement. They basically what they did is they took rejected A17 chips that would go into the iPhone. So if it was missing a core, it's bend is what it's called. And so they would take their processors that didn't pass QC for a phone, but would be fine for this application. So if it's an 8-core machine, I'm just saying it would be a 7 cores pass. So they took these rejected chips.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
And put it into basically a MacBook form factor. And it has sold out so well.
It doesn't sound like a good thing, though.
Well, yeah, it is, because
Here,
if you
buy my computer full of rejected chips.
no,
But it's rejected for the phone, but it's fully capable for what they want to do with
So
this
what
laptop.
happens every time you fab a chip, you've got some defects in it, and it just depends on where the minimum QC standard is. AMD has them, Intel has them. Everybody's got defective chips. And I think one of the things is, what do you do with the non-high QC defective chips? And so Apple's like, okay, we'll take them. They meet these minimum specs, which are more than enough. So the question is, they've run out of these bend
Defective chips. So now they've got to
so the
start.
speculation is, to keep up demand, they're having to take a full chip that works great and cripple it
Oh gosh,
to drop into the Neo. I saw speculation of that.
now
sometime
that
in
gets a
those-
little crazy.
yeah. But that
But I do
Neo,
get your point, but I think it's
yeah.
it's fine for what they're using it
Yeah,
for.
absolutely. So that Neo is like one of the best selling computers on the market today.
Yeah.
So you need to look at it's a whole different product category practically. It's great for web browsing, email. Yeah, I don't know that I'd edit anything on it, but I wouldn't throw Photoshop on it. But anyway.
But what about the missteps that Apple's made?
Oh, hello, 20th anniversary Mac.
20th anniversary. The Cube always felt like people that had them thought they were okay, but
The greatest misstep in the history of Apple is the friggin' hockey puck mouse.
that was the other one I was going to bring up.
That
That was
came up-
that you can't tell. I mean, it had a cord on it, but the orientation in your hand just felt so awful.
It's like you had a hockey puck and you're trying, and you don't know whether you're going left or
And
right.
that came out with iMacs.
That came out with the first iMac,
Yeah.
you know, and they tried to be cute with it because it had, it was
James translucent
Bondi blue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But there were add-ons that folks would get that would make it more of a form factor.
Like a little holster that you'd almost put it in.
Like a
That kinda-
neoprene little thing that I mean, that has got to be the biggest
So
disaster.
it wasn't ergonomic at all.
Oh, no.
I don't even remember having one.
and a lot of their products. I mean, Magic Mouse, which I love, is not really ergonomic. I mean, I've got a.
I'm not a big fan of the Magic Mouse. The thing that kills me about the Magic Mouse is that the charging ports on the bottom.
I was going to mention that one too. That's the dumbest design thing I've ever seen. The charging port of the Magic Mouse is for the rechargeable ones.
It's on the bottom, as opposed on the tail end where you could leave it on a flat surface and
still
plug
use it. Yeah, because the thing is, it dies right in the middle of your workday, and you're sitting there and going. And the other thing too is the limits of not having a true 3 button with a scroll. If you're doing any kind of 3D application, you want to have those kind of things available to you.
I don't know if the first thing I do when I get a Mac, I go into the mouse settings and I change it from the scroll from natural.
Yes, me too. That's a guy of a certain age thing right there.
I tell you
my
what.
kids are going, what have you screwed this up? And I go, no, it doesn't make sense
It's
to
the
me.
way it should be. It's the way God intended a mouse to be.
Natural.
Yeah. No, it's unnatural.
Yeah. Do you know what we're talking about?
Nope.
Okay. Just
trackpads and Macs all do a thing where we're used to scrolling and it kind of following your motion of your hand as you scroll it. The natural, what they're calling the natural way, does just the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's very, very disconcerting to step in somebody's.
Okay.
The Apple, one of the early Apple cinema displays were great, but they ran with a proprietary connector called the ADC, the Apple Display Connector.
Yes.
And so it could only work. I've got one in there on the shelf. That display could only work with a video card that came in an Apple machine because it was one cord, because Steve Jobs was obsessed with one cord design, right? To cut out clutter on desks.
Yeah.
So that cord not only carried your video signal, but it also carried your power.
Oh, okay.
So you had to buy
useless otherwise.
Yeah, unless you bought like $1,000 adapter.
And those things were expensive, weren't they?
They were, yeah. I mean, they're
not that. I mean, a lot of Apple products are expensive.
Yeah. The one of the later iMacs, I never had one that was basically the Hershey Kiss,
the gooseneck
with the gooseneck, and the gooseneck would
break.
Yeah,
on its own. I mean, you first looked at it; it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah,
the monitor's a little undersized to me, based on the base, aesthetically speaking. Yeah. But it was pretty cool. Almost had that Pixar lamp kind of feel.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
But yeah, the gooseneck, as goosenecks do, under a lot of use, goes out.
Yeah,
of course the iMacs, I had several iMacs that had the tension spring or whatever was used to hold the iMac at a certain. This is all in one iMac.
Yeah,
that hold the display, actually the computer thing, off the stand would break, and so there's a whole bunch of them with styrofoam pieces, from the box stuck underneath them to try to get them at the right angle.
Yeah. So sometimes they went a little bit more form over function.
Yeah, well, too cute, I think you said about, and I think they kind of did that sometimes.
Yeah. What else comes to mind of Apple issues?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some software things, if they had any kind of
Final Cut Pro 10.
That's the one that comes to my mind. There's nothing really else but Final Cut Pro 10, changing from that for Final Cut 7, which was as beloved a nonlinear editor as you're likely to see. I mean, so many people use that and it worked well. It was pulling people away from Avid. It had pulled everybody away from Premiere at that point, and everybody was using it. And then they come up with Final Cut Pro 10, which didn't even allow you to open Final Cut Pro 7 projects unless you went through some kind of weird XML thing that,
Yeah, don't even get me started.
Final Cut Pro 10 is the reason most shops use Premiere Pro now.
It is. All right, here are a few things from how stuff works. The Apple Newton.
I wondered about the Newton. Now, you have a Newton.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a bad product or just something that was ahead of its time. I know the handwriting recognition was not good.
It was way ahead of its time, and
what was that? I remember
it was one of the original
handheld personal computing devices.
Yeah, personal digital assistant.
Mm-hmm. So, and what happened is you had Pilot,
like a Palm Pilot.
Yeah,
Palm Pilot came in later, more simple idea, and owned that space for the longest time.
Yeah,
I have one of those still
until the iPhone came out. Apple Pippin. Remember Pippin?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it is, but I know the name.
Apple thought it would enter the console gaming market in the mid-1990s rather than copying what Sony, Nintendo, and Sega were doing. They tried to pave new roads with the Pippin. It was a cross between a gaming console and a network computer, but terrible marketing and bad design doomed it to fail.
Yeah.
It was $600
Never
in
even heard of that one.
1997.
Yeah, I can't. I remembered the name, but I didn't remember what it was.
Yeah, the Apple Pippin, the eMate.
Oh, I remember the eMate.
It was a hybrid between a laptop computer and a PDA. It ran the Newton software.
Okay.
Number 10 on the list is the round mouse from the Hockey Puck from the iMac we just ran.
There was also an eMac, which was kind of a that come after the iMac.
They were trying to make the iMac like on
an educational budget, right?
Something like that. The U2 iPod. Remember they had the black.
Oh
U2
my
iPod.
gosh! Yeah, nothing wrong with the actual device, but the marketing for that didn't.
It had a red click wheel, and it was $50 more than a
and
regular.
also. Now we're U2 fans, so it didn't bother me. But forcing the U2 album on folks through iTunes
It
was kind
still will come up on my phone sometimes.
It's a great album.
I know it's a great album.
Yeah,
but
it's fine, but I'll just like turn it on or plug it. I guess when you plug in headphones or an aux cord or something, if I'm not real quick to start whatever it is I want to listen to, sometimes that YouTube will pop in.
Well, I mean, you can delete it. I'm sure.
Probably,
right? Yeah.
But
I mean, it's
why
like
not delete a
you
U2 album.
It's like getting Explorer on your, PC when you buy it. It's like you may hate Explorer, but you just get rid of it. It's
You don't have to. Steve Jobs was not holding a gun to your head or Bono making you listen to it.
The Edge was so.
Oh, the Edge was, yeah. The Power Mac G4 Cube, which we talked about. The 20th anniversary Macintosh. Remember that?
Seinfeld is the only one that I knew had one. He had it on his show.
$1,000.
Crazy. And that was huge money back at that day.
In 1996, only 12,000 units were sold, were produced. And they went from $8,000 to $2,000, and no one would buy them. Macintosh TV. Do you remember they tried a little TV console in 93?
Yeah. As opposed to Apple TV, which a lot of people may consider this a flawed thing too, but I think it's kind of held its own. I think it's found its place now.
It was
the software.
Apple, it was Apple trying to make a Roku or some sort of device. The Lisa one, which Steve Jobs would never admit was a failure because,
named for his daughter, right?
Which he would never admit, so, but that was the precursor to the Mac. The list here on number 4, I don't agree with FireWire.
Oh no, FireWire was great.
It was.
I miss FireWire.
Yeah.
I mean, you could daisy chain FireWire. It was an absolute. It was probably the best peripheral networking device that I've seen.
I agree. Yeah.
And you didn't lose anything.
No.
You could have 5 FireWire devices on there, and all of them had the same throughput.
They were absolutely great. Oh man, iTunes Ping. I don't even remember that.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
It was a social media network for iTunes users.
Yeah, I don't think that lasted very long at all.
Yeah, like 2012. It was completely free, but no one wanted to join. Kind of like this podcast. Of course,
now hosted on iTunes Ping.
Yeah.
Please check out. You can't get to our MySpace page. Please find us on iTunes Ping.
It quietly disappeared after 2 years. eWorld. Do you remember the?
I remember eWorld.
eWorld was the
Educational.
Apple. Yeah. Well, no. It was their version of AOL.
I thought it was an educational thing.
No, that was super expensive. It came. You got a disc with a computer, and they were trying to get you to their own AOL competitor at the point.
Gotcha.
So it was horrible. And then number 1 is the Apple III, which got supplanted by the Apple Macintosh. And
it was the last of that.
There's a great scene floating around on Twitter from the Steve Jobs movie with Fassbender as Jobs as he's getting ready.
I gotta watch that
before the big presentation where they, Microsoft, Bill Gates gets on the screen and says, "Hey, we're going to invest $150 million," and it's all dramatized. But you got Wozniak, played by Seth Rogen, basically berating Steve to say, "Will you acknowledge that the Apple II built this company?" And he just wouldn't do it. Wow. It's like it had a great run, blah 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 blah. Apparently, that was based on some factual. There were some things there.
Okay.
Of course, that's based upon the book by who wrote the Steve Jobs book? Oh gosh, I can see his face right now. But who wrote the screenplay for Steve Jobs, the movie? Do you know who wrote that?
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin.
It's going to be my guest. Like Children's Church, you throw out Jesus, you're pretty much correct. Aaron Sorkin here.
Or Dr. Who.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
yeah. But the Apple III was supposed to be the spiritual successor to the Apple II. Imagine that. Was going to save Apple. And Steve had the failure with Lisa, and then he co-opted the Macintosh team. And that
I need to watch that.
let everybody go. So
I think there's probably some other things people may say of like, getting rid of ports or different, getting rid of floppy drives or CD drives or whatever, but that's all kind of proven not to be what everybody ended up doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, remember when you were beholden to putting floppy drive disk into a drive to load software?
And you'd have one that might have some kind of glitch in it and the whole thing was ruined.
Yeah.
That's why I was hoping my friend still had my old Mac, because then I could put my floppies in it and see what's what.
Well, you can get a floppy drive reader.
Really?
For USB, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've got one in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got this crazy amount of like resource information, like reference materials.
They had them. The problem is probably going to be finding something to access it, depending on what software you used on it. But if it was something, when WordPerfect was it?
Oh no.
Back in
WordPerfect, people swore by it, loved it, but it's got eaten up by the big Microsoft monster. But I know we had some at work, floppy drives and zip drives.
Zip.
I've got the zip drive.
I see your zip drive and I raise you a SideQuest.
Okay, yeah, I love the SideQuest drive.
Yeah.
44 and 88 megabytes, depending on which ones you got.
The Jazz.
Jazz was
1 gig. It was
the follow up to Zip, right?
Yeah,
Same company, Omega.
Zips were 100 megs.
Yeah,
Jazz
which was
drives were 1
incredible.
gig.
I mean, I've got a whole box of Zips somewhere.
I've got a zip drive, a USB zip drive in there too.
Yeah, I do think I do too somewhere too.
Yeah. And then you had Jazz, then Jazz 2, which was a 2 gig. And I remember somebody built a box where you could put 4 Jazz drives in and raid them together.
Wow.
I remember that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess the flash drive eventually took that space, right?
Yeah. Plus,
CDs, came around for a while, but rewritable CDs were still kind of clunky.
then you went to, DVD, DVD-ROM, that sort of thing. And then really downloads is, as you got fast internet.
In terms of software installs, all downloads.
By the way, today is a monumental day. I have uploaded my first app to the Apple App Store.
Oh, check it out.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of appropriate as we talk about Apple missteps, because it may be an Apple Robbie misstep.
All right.
Anything else? Nothing else? Is that it? Going, gone. All right. We'll see you next time around.